PDP reacts to Wike's meeting with Tinubu in London. Recall that Wike and Tinubu met in London on Monday night to discuss issues relating to the 2023 presidential election. The PDP has broken its silence after Rivers State Governor Wike met with the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, abroad. Reports had emerged stating that Wike and Tinubu met in London on Monday night to discuss issues relating to the 2023 presidential election. A source who spoke with Vanguard on the condition of anonymity revealed that the meeting was centered around how the Wike camp would stay in PDP to cause crisis in the party. Also speaking with Daily Trust, a source belonging to the Tinubu camp said discussions were very fruitful, adding that Wike may reach agreements to support Tinubu and the APC in the 2023 elections. The APC chieftain said it was also discussed during the meeting how they will mobilize their supporters to work for APC in 2023. The source revealed that Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and his Ekiti State counterpart Kaide Fayemi were part of the parley from the Tinubu camp. Governor Samuel Ortom and Seyi Makinde attended the meeting from the Wike camp. Reacting to the development, PDP spokesman Debo Ologunagba said the party was not aware of the meeting between Wike and Tinubu. Speaking further, he said the process of resolving the feud between Wike and the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar is ongoing, adding the party is making good progress. Making good progress? I mean, okay, if you say so. He said the reconciliation process is ongoing and we are making good progress. It is a marathon and not a sprint. We are very confident that at the end of the day, everything will be fine. Well, seems like this marathon is, if you're going to compare it to what a sprint is like, this meeting in London with Tinubu seems more like the sprint that you should be on, in fact, faster. If anything, in conclusion, I don't think there is anything much to say, but the fact that APC and PDP are the same party. They're literally one and the same. There's no difference. Yes, PDP may not be aware of the reconciliation or whatever, but it seems like I don't think they're really willing to solve this whole issue with Wike because really they've got bigger fish to fry. I mean, let's be realistic. They've chosen their vice presidential candidate. Wike is pressed. Whatever the reasons are, they'll be justified because Wike has, given his life. He has sacrificed for the party. It is unfortunate, but I don't think PDP care because really, look at the events coming up. Campaigns will soon start, and you are expecting them to worry about an individual crying because he hasn't gotten the VP seat. It is gone. It is gone. So if Wike is deciding to go join APC, well, who is stopping him? Well, let him go and join. I mean, the fact that PDP doesn't know about it and, the article talks about the PDP camp, so Wike didn't go by himself. Who else? I said Okowa. But I don't mean Okowa, but Samuel Ortom and Seyi Makinde, from the Wike camp, are PDP, are literally, they were with him. So I don't think the party PDP seems to really be bothered, to be honest. If Wike would join, let's be honest, it would cause a lot of uproar. It would cause a lot of reactions. It'd be very surprising. But what should it prove? It should tell you that the party, APC and PDP, there's no difference. They're literally one party. They shuffle. They may give you the imagery of competition and rivalry, but it doesn't seem like it. Well, personally, I do not think so. So really, if Wike would try to support Tinubu, well, I mean, it shows that he's two-faced because in all this, in all their events, the way they show themselves, the way they portray themselves, all they show is desperation. I mean, nothing in their actions and their decisions reflect the interest of the people. It does not reflect that they think of the people and prioritize the people. So all it should tell you that these individuals are very desperate. they'd want to get there. As long as it pleases them, they would have to switch from one party to another. And if you want to defend, I mean, you're your own individual, you're a political candidate. The problem now is, if people find you fit enough to be voted for, that is where the issue actually is. They can do what they want, but then it's the party itself, and the people will choose the party that they want. And I guess that's where the issue is. And the real problem is, even as to some, it's very obvious, excuse me, why are we arguing this? But people do still think that APC is fit to still be the ruling party. Very strong problem. And in fact, we should be worried. These are red flags. Red flags. There are so many issues going on in this state. So many issues. But what do we do? And I think this is the problem. I feel like, in a way, politicians are kind of glorified and given this. It's like, wait, you have Keeping Up with the Kardashians, you have Keeping Up with Nigerian politicians, because you would actually be overwhelmed by what is going on. This person is meeting with this person here, and Nigerians are dying every day. You have the youth that you are depending on to change things. They are not in school. They're not being prepped to go into the Nigerian labor market. In fact, the brain drain that is happening, I mean, you have people risking and doing everything to leave the country. There's unemployment. Standard of living is low. Economy is down. We're talking, I mean, the value of the naira, looking at the purchasing power of the average Nigerian, is significantly just truncated. And you were talking about these individuals having meetings. I don't know. It's like you're expecting Nigerians to be angry enough to just not take nonsense. And I think until we collectively get to that place, I really don't think when it comes to making this change, it would actually come. It should get, I mean, but the thing is, like, what would Nigerians have to go through to get to that point? Because if you have individuals that still think APC is the party for them, there's a big problem. And it's safe to say this change, you know, we might not be as ready for it as we think, because you know, the youth do make up 70% of the population, and so, you know, out of that, okay, fine, let's be fair, we can't say everybody will just follow Peter Obi. But again, the fact is, these APC will do what it can. I mean, Tinubu, who believes and is entitled and believes that it is his turn, that desperation would drive his motivations to do anything that it would take to get into power. That is a very big problem. Very big problem, very big issue. So really, Wike can meet with whoever he wants to meet with. It's now depending on the people. Are these the individuals that we want? If they're not, you scrap them, you put them aside, and you look at other options, and you start to look at ideas, literally ideas, innovation. We look at these things that we know would help the country. And the only time we should be hearing PDP or APC and the individuals that are in there is when we are trying to hold them accountable, when we are prosecuting, suing them, asking them to be accountable for the things that are the money stolen, the oil stolen, the crime, the rate of criminality, the crime against Nigerian citizens, the massacre, killing of Nigerian citizens. That is when their names should be mentioned, when these people are meant to rot in jail, when these assets that they have are going to be returned back to Nigeria's economy. Then we can start talking about these individuals. But when it comes to leadership and we are considering them and they're in the conversation, that is a very big problem. Put what you think about it in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.